Respawn if you die. Imagine this for a second. You're walking across the street, you're not paying attention, and bam, a car hits you. Normally, that's tragic. That's the end. But if life worked like GTA, you wouldn't really die. You'd just wake up in a hospital bed, maybe a little broke, but completely fine. Sounds cool, right? Death wouldn't be scary anymore. You could try all the dangerous stuff you've always wanted to. Jump off a skyscraper? No problem. Get in a crazy fight? Who cares? Worst case, you wake up at the hospital, ready to start all over again. At first, it feels kind of fun. People would become fearless. Everyone's inner daredevil would come out. Imagine entire groups of friends competing to see who can pull off the craziest stunts, because nobody really stays dead. But here's the catch. If nobody was afraid of dying, the world would be absolute chaos. Think about traffic. People wouldn't stop at red lights anymore. They'd just slam into each other. Extreme sports would happen on every street corner. And honestly, you wouldn't even feel safe walking outside because people might treat the world like a video game playground. So yeah, respawning in real life sounds awesome at first, but after a while, you'd realize life would basically turn into a giant demolition derby with hospitals acting like respawn points.
Cops are easy to escape. Now let's talk about the police. In real life, if you commit a crime, the police will investigate, chase you down, and they don't just give up. But in a GTA world, it's completely different. Imagine this. You steal a car in broad daylight. Sirens go off, police cars start chasing you. But instead of spending months in jail, all you need to do is hide in a back alley, or maybe just change your car's paint color. And boom, the cops instantly forget you even exist. It sounds ridiculous, but think about how people would act if that rule was real. Crime would skyrocket. Why? Because the risk is so low. You could rob a store, run 2 blocks away, and as long as the cops can't see you, you're safe. It's like they all have goldfish memory. Now picture the streets. Every day, there would be high-speed chases, people crashing into each other, helicopters in the sky, but then silence. Because the moment you turn the corner and disappear, the entire police force just gives up. At first, it feels kind of fun and cartoonish, like living inside an action movie where you're always the main character. But after a while, you'd realize society would collapse. Rules wouldn't matter anymore, because the law is way too easy to trick. So yeah, escaping cops in real life might sound thrilling, but if the police really acted like GTA cops, the world would turn into one big crime simulator.
Stealing cars is normal. All right, let's move on to cars. In our world, if you want a car, you either buy it, rent it, or borrow it. There's paperwork, keys, insurance, all that boring stuff. But in a GTA-style world, owning a car wouldn't even matter. Imagine this. You're walking down the street, you see a shiny sports car, and you just think, yeah, I'll take that. You smash the window, hop in, and boom, the car is yours. No keys, no questions. Now, on one hand, that sounds kind of exciting. Every single day could feel like a surprise. One day you're driving a beat-up old van. The next day, you're cruising in a $1 million supercar. It's like a lottery system, but with cars. But let's be real. This would make the world absolutely insane. Nobody would feel safe leaving their car parked outside. Parking lots would look like war zones, with broken glass everywhere. And forget about public transport. Why take the bus when you can just borrow a Ferrari on your way to work? And think about friendships. You let your buddy park his car at your place, but when you wake up the next morning, surprise, it's gone. And the crazy part is, it might not even be stolen maliciously. Maybe some random stranger just needed a ride. So yeah, stealing cars might sound fun if it was normal, but in reality, life would become one big game of musical chairs, except with vehicles.
Cheat codes in real life.
Now imagine this. Life has cheat codes. Not skills, not luck. Actual codes you can type in. Just like in GTA. You're broke? No problem. Type in a secret combo, and suddenly piles of cash drop right in front of you. You're in trouble with the cops? Enter another code, and boom, you're completely invisible to them. Feeling bored? How about spawning a tank in the middle of the street just to make your morning commute more interesting? At first, it sounds like the ultimate dream. You'd never worry about bills, food, or danger ever again. People could literally live like superheroes. Unlimited health, unlimited ammo, even flying cars. Anything you can imagine. But here's the catch. Not everyone would know the codes. Imagine a world where some people are living normal, struggling with jobs and bills, while others are basically invincible gods, spawning helicopters and walking around with infinite money. Society would collapse in days. Why work when you can cheat your way through life? Why study? Why save? Why try if all it takes is a simple code? And honestly, it wouldn't even be fun after a while. If you can get anything instantly, nothing has real value anymore. That shiny car, that big house, that sense of accomplishment, it's all meaningless when you can just cheat for it. So yeah, cheat codes in real life sound amazing, but if they actually existed, life would feel less like living and more like playing a broken video game.
wanted levels. Now, let's talk about the most iconic part of GTA, the wanted level system. In real life, if you cause trouble, you might get a warning, a fine, maybe some jail time. But in a GTA world, every crime instantly gives you stars. 1 star, a couple of cops chasing you. 2 stars, more cops and maybe a helicopter. 4 stars, SWAT teams with heavy weapons. And at 5 stars, you've got the entire military rolling in with tanks just for you. It sounds insane, but imagine how this would feel in the real world. You get into a fight at a bar, suddenly police sirens everywhere. You throw one more punch, and out of nowhere, there's a helicopter shining a spotlight on you. By the time you break a few more things, the army's outside waiting like it's World War III. It would be terrifying, but also kind of hilarious. People would constantly be testing the system. How many stars can I get today? Imagine YouTubers doing real-life 5-star challenges, causing chaos until they're surrounded by tanks. But here's the problem. Society wouldn't survive a system like this. One small mistake could escalate into full-on military chaos. The streets would feel less like a city and more like a battlefield. So yeah, wanted levels in real life sound exciting at first, but the truth is, it would turn every little crime into a full-blown action movie, and most of us wouldn't even make it past 2 stars.
Non-stop shootouts. Now, picture this. In GTA, almost every mission ends in a shootout. And even if you're not on a mission, sometimes you just pull out a gun for no reason, and suddenly the whole street turns into a battlefield. Imagine if that happened in real life. You're chilling at a cafe, sipping your coffee, when out of nowhere, 2 groups start shooting at each other across the street. Bullets flying, cars exploding, and everyone around either runs away or pulls out their phone to record it. Total chaos, right? And it wouldn't stop there. In GTA, the more chaos you cause, the more people join the fight. First, it's just a couple of cops. Then backup arrives. Then SWAT shows up. And if it gets really out of control, the military rolls in with tanks and helicopters. At first, it might sound exciting, like living in an action movie every single day. But think about it. Would you ever feel safe leaving your house if shootouts could break out anywhere, anytime? It's fun in a video game, but in real life, the streets would feel more like a war zone than a city.